You won't believe what just happened to the Kaluma Boy family. Things have taken a dark and a shocking twist. A man claiming to be the uncle, Kaluma Boy father's own brother, just came out with disturbing allegations. Saying that Kaluma Boy's mother cut off the entire family from the money raised by Kenyans for Kaluma Boy's father's recovery.
Umesikia recordings za brother ya baba Kaluma. Niliwaambia in-laws wanaweza kuwa toxic, mukadhani ni content.
He says she left them, came back months later and now controls everything, and he wants a piece of the fundraiser money. But that is not all.
Kaluma Boy, kuna kuanga na some confused elements. The moment wanaona kitu kama hiyo imehappen, mtu wangu anataka kusafiria nyota nayo.
Wait until you see what happened after Kenyans heard his claims. The internet has exploded. Even Kaluma Boy himself has broken his silence, saying he can't talk about it right now.
Achana na huyo uncle. Ndampea story full. Mambo ikitulia ndawapanga. So mkinidai story, mambo ikitulia mnikumbushe ndawapea story.
Leaving fans heartbroken and desperate for answers. What's really happening behind the scenes of the Kaluma Boy family? Is this about the money or something much deeper? Stay tuned because this story is just getting started.
Kwanza in-laws wa side ya baba, yani in-laws zako kama bibi wa hiyo boma, those people will never love you. Na kuchukia tu bure. Like this uncle is complaining that hawakuitwa event ya baba Kaluma, ati mama Kaluma alistress baba Kaluma mpaka sasa shosho ya Kaluma now the mother to the father Kaluma akapata pressure na depression kwa sababu ya mama Kaluma. Lakini atuambii ni nini ilikuwa inafanya mama Kaluma anatoroka. Atuambii. The bad person here is mama Kaluma. The woman who came in for the husband when he got sick. Maybe I salute that woman for that.
So here is what is happening. Remember the Kaluma Boy story that had all of Kenya rallying together? A young man whose father was battling serious health issues, and Kenyans from all walks of life opened their hearts and wallets during those Gen Z fundraisers. It was beautiful to watch our country come together for a family in crisis. Millions of shillings poured in from ordinary Kenyans who sacrificed their own needs to help a stranger's family. But now, just when you thought this was a heartwarming story about Kenya's unity and compassion, family politics has reared its ugly head into the most disturbing way possible. Kaluma Boy's uncle, who is the brother to his father, has come forward with claims that are leaving everyone questioning what is really happening behind the scenes.
Wamama wengi wanatorokanga wakati wazee wamekuwa wagonjwa, lakini huyu alirudi wakati mzee amekuwa mgonjwa. Sio ni reason ya kusalute mama. Ati hawakuitwa sherehe. Kama mama Kaluma alicause depression na skari na pressure kwa nyanya ya Kaluma, si anafaa jikwepe sana na huyo mwanamke. Kwa nini anataka kukua na yeye tena? Nini ya muoni hiyo story ya make sense? Ati mother hata amekuwa na depression na stress kwa sababu ya maisha yenye baba Kaluma amepitishiwa na mama Kaluma, hata ni mgonjwa sana.
In the interview, which is now circulating everywhere, the uncle made some absolutely shocking allegations. He is claiming that Kaluma Boy's mother had completely cut the family off from any financial discussions or decisions regarding the money that was raised by generous Kenyans. But here is where it gets even more disturbing. The uncle claims that the mother had actually left the family and only returned a few months ago. If this is true, it raises serious questions about the timing of everything.
Na kwa nini anataka kuja kwa sherehe kwa mtu mwenye alimkosa akakuwa na pressure na depression na skari? Ama pesa ikikuwa involved, skari inatulia, inaobe.
Now this morning I have been met by a recording of one of the uncles. Uncle ama huku kwetu tumezoea kuita baba mkubwa au baba mdogo of Kaluma Boy. My advice to Kaluma Boy and those people who are handling Kaluma Boy, please focus and focus. Please focus.
Was she absent during the father's darkest hours, only to return when money started flowing in? These are the kinds of questions that are now swirling in people's mind. The uncle isn't just making these claims quietly. He's demanding that he deserves a say in how these finances are used. He believes that as a brother to Kaluma Boy's father, he should have input to these financial decisions, but it doesn't stop here. He's also suggesting that he deserves to be a beneficiary of the same funds that Kenyans donated, specifically for the family's medical expenses.
For example, huyo uncle anasema ati kama ile day enye Gen Zs walikuwa pande ya udhaya ati ao sasa kama saidia dad hawakuwa wanajua kitu yoyote au mpaka walishtukanga tu aya hapo hivyo. Kwa hiyo primary school sasa ni Twangaru rada, kumbe kuna watu walikuja umzai. Sasa huyu uncle anasema ati yeye hiyo story yote ili happen Sunday hapo saa kwa church ya Bishop Ben, ati yeye alikuwa anaona tu kwa TV, anajionea tu, anashangaa mbona hakuna mtu hata mmoja wasaidia familia yao mwenye aliitwa. Yeye ana argue ati wakati mkoro wa Kaluma Boy aliulizwa nani amekuwa akisaidia mzae wa Kaluma Boy, alisema watu wa familia yao, akasema pia well wishers.
When you donated to the Kaluma Boy fundraiser, did you think your money would end up being fought over by extended family members? Did you imagine that uncles would be demanding their share of funds meant for medical bills? This is exactly why so many Kenyans are feeling betrayed and angry right now. The reaction from Kenyans has been swift and brutal. Social media is absolutely exploding with people calling out the uncle for what many see as greed and opportunism. The comments are scratching. People are saying this uncle should be ashamed of himself for trying to benefit from a situation that was supposed to be about helping a sick man and his immediate family. What's particularly infuriating to many is the timing. Here is a family that was struggling with serious medical crisis, and instead of focusing on recovery and healing, we now have a family member fighting over money in public. It's exactly the kind of drama that makes people hesitant to help families in crisis in the future. But there's one more layer to this that is even more concerning. The uncle's claims about the mother leaving and returning raises questions about family dynamics. When Kaluma Boy was asked to respond to these allegations, his answer was both mature and telling. He stated that he can't talk about the issue right now and that maybe it will be discussed much later. His reasoning: they are focusing on their father's recovery's journey first. This response shows incredible maturity from a young man who finds himself at the center of a public family dispute. Think about the position this puts Kaluma Boy in. He's dealing with his father's health crisis, managing public attention, and now he has to navigate family conflict that is playing out in front of the entire country. The pressure must be overwhelming. Here is someone who just wanted help from his sick father, and now he's caught in the middle of a public family feud over money. The broader implications of this situation are deeply troubling for Kenyan's culture of Harambee and community support. When stories like this emerge, it makes people question whether their charitable contributions are actually reaching out to people who need them. It creates a doubt about the integrity of family-based fundraising efforts. What's particularly heartbreaking is thinking about all those Kenyans who gave what little they had because they believed in helping a family in crisis. School children who contributed their lunch money, working parents who sacrificed their own needs, and communities that organized local fundraisers. All of these people who gave with pure hearts, believing they were making a difference in a family's darkest hour. Now they're watching family members fight over the contributions in public, with an uncle demanding his share of money that was never intended for him. It's a betrayal of the trust that Kenyans placed in his family. The uncle's interview has also raised questions about transparency and accountability. In these grassroots fundraising efforts, when communities come together to help families in crisis, there is usually an implication. The situation highlights the need for better structure and oversight when it comes to community fundraising. Kaluma Boy's decision to stay focused on his father's recovery rather than getting drawn into public family drama shows remarkable wisdom. He understands that his priority should be his father's health, not defending the family against allegations or getting involved in disputes over money management. But this situation also puts him in an impossible position. Going forward, if he addresses his uncle's claims, he risks escalating the family conflict. If he doesn't respond, some people might interpret his silence as confirmation of the uncle's allegations. It's a non-win situation for a young man who never asked to be at the center of public attention. The broader Kenyan community is watching this situation closely because it reflects deeper issues about family dynamics, money, and public accountability. When private family matters become public controversies, it affects everyone's willingness to help in similar situations in the future. What makes this particularly painful is that it overshadows what should be a story about the Kenyan compassion and community support, instead of celebrating how the countries came together to help a family in crisis. We are now discussing family greed and financial disputes. The uncle's actions have shifted the narrative from one of hope and unity to one of disappointment and conflict, and this story continues to develop. The most important thing to remember is that at the center of this drama is a sick man who needs medical care and a family trying to support him. Whatever happens with the financial disputes and family conflicts, the original goal remains the same: helping someone recover their health and supporting their loved ones through this difficult time. The Kaluma Boy situation has become a cautionary tale about what can happen when a money enters family dynamics that are already complicated. It's a reminder that even the most well-intentioned charitable efforts can become complicated when human nature and family politics get involved. What started as a beautiful example of the Kenyan generosity has now become a complex story about family loyalty, financial responsibility, and public accountability that will likely have lasting implications for how communities approach similar situations in the future.